Welcome everybody, Jason Rosen here with Dr. Eric Balcavage and Troy Opperly to basically just have a little video of celebration from a lot of work that this gentleman put in with a good colleague of ours called Dr. Kelly Halderman to create this beautiful book called The Thyroid Debacle.
Yeah.
Not a self-published book through a publishing company, which is a huge feat, especially for natural doctors these days. So Dr. Eric, why don't you tell us a little bit about this book, why it's so different from the other thyroid books out there, and kind of how Troy and I became a little bit of a part of it.
Yeah, so the book is called The Thyroid Debacle, and it's a different take on thyroid physiology from both the allopathic perspective and even to some degree from the functional medicine perspective. Most of what we see in allopathic medicine is that thyroid conditions start when the gland becomes dysfunctional. In functional medicine, we have a tendency to look at it like it's an immune system or an autoimmune system that's potentially out of control or causing damage. And what the angle that Kelly and I take in this book is that maybe hypothyroidism, even Hashimoto's, the autoimmune attack on the thyroid gland, isn't necessarily a mistake by the immune system, but maybe a protective mechanism to help support the body in its fight against chronic stress, chronic infections, chronic toxicity in the body. Because the role of thyroid hormone is to really increase growth and metabolism. But if we're under chronic stress, we're in chronic danger, right, and we have chronic infections, maybe the body is trying not to speed up metabolism, and instead is trying to support the inflammatory process to deal with the threat. And so in the book, in part one of the book, Kelly talks about her story of how she went through medical school and developed some chronic health conditions, including Hashimoto's, and talks about thyroid physiology from the medical perspective, from what she learned, right? And then in part two, I really start breaking down thyroid physiology from what we call a cellular perspective and what I call cellular hypothyroidism. We talk about hypothyroidism as a protective mechanism versus maybe a disorder of the body. We talk about the cell danger response and then what cellular hypothyroidism is, and maybe a lot of the conditions and disorders we see that we consider other things, really maybe at the root is again part of this protective response, and at the root, maybe some of these people really have what we call cellular hypothyroidism,
right?
Whether it's insulin resistance or cardiovascular disease or GI issues. So we talk about that, and then in part three, we talk about the solution.
Right.
As you guys are fans of, one of the biggest things to help us be healthier is healthy diet and lifestyle.
Yep.
So the lifestyle factors, we call them the fitness factors: good diet, good nutrition, appropriate supplementation, making sure your gut is healthy, good quality sleep, good rest, and all the things that somebody can do even before they come see a functional practitioner to get healthy and get well.
Yeah. Right. And we were lucky enough to, you and I, meet together out on the seminar trail, and I approached you about nutritional products and how next to impossible is to find really good ones out there, especially people that actually make their own stuff. And then introduce you to Troy here, who, Troy, why don't you just tell us a little bit how long you've been running this place, and just how hard it is to walk through this minefield, and how people that actually do what you do, how difficult it is, are just dropping out like flies and selling out to larger companies these days.
Yeah, I've definitely seen that over the last 10 years as far as consolidation, takeovers, acquisitions. So yeah, it is a challenge. I mean, it's and nobody knows, what goes on behind closed doors, so to speak.
Right.
But yeah, we've been at it for 25 years, so we have some experience,
Right.
in that area. But yeah, very challenging. Like you said, you're putting these products together, looking, to partner with the right people.
Right.
There are fewer and fewer of them out there.
Yep. And like when I first met you, you're like, I want to know less people, but quality people.
Right.
And I know how picky you are when it comes to letting somebody into the fold. And when you met Eric, you're like, this dude's on the team. Right? So.
Yeah, and I think it was a huge benefit to us because, when you read a book like this, what most people are looking for is what's the support protocol, what's the protocol that I fix it. And in the book we talk about that there isn't necessarily a set protocol you go through. There's fundamental principles. Yes. We want to assess what's going on. And then what we want to do is be cautious because we're not promoting a whole bunch of products for people to take. What our goal is to be very strategic in our support products. And so when we're looking at utilizing support products, we want to use as few as possible.
Yes.
We want to use something that's super clean, super low toxicity, and super effective. And that's what the benefit of getting to work with your company was, the ability to actually create products that both Kelly and I use on a daily basis
Right.
for our patients and for ourselves, and help us with this whole issue of trying to get thyroid physiology restored, not by dumping more thyroid hormone in, but to actually fix the root cause issues.
Absolutely. Well, we're really proud of you guys. Everyone, run out and get this book. It's not just for thyroid patients, it's for just about anyone looking to better themselves.